So today we're going to be discussing color theory. There will be places on the slides where it says copy all. Those are the only parts that you need to copy. So I want you to look at the following colors and think about what you think they mean when you see these three colors together. So typically when we see these three colors together, where do we see them? You're right, on a stoplight. And so the red means stop, the yellow means yield, and green means go. When we look at these two colors together, which color do you think means clean versus which one do you think means dirty? Okay, I actually saw a commercial where they had a paid professional marketing team do a side-by-side comparison for bathroom cleaners. And in one bathroom, they used the mint blue tile like that. And in the other bathroom, they used the tannish color tile. Which color would make you think the bathroom was cleaner, the blue or the brown? You're right, the blue. So even you guys, at most of you, ninth grade, 14 years old, can tell that the minty blue color would give you a sense of being fresher and cleaner versus the tan. Most people choose tan tile because they like to hide the dirt, right? But this marketing team got it wrong, and they actually used the brown or the tan colored tile for their product, and they used the minty blue color for the competitor, um, which I was just appalled every single time I saw the commercial. Okay, of these colors you see up in the upper corner, which set, the top or the bottom, makes you think of America, the United States, right? Red, white, and blue. And of an elementary school or preschool classroom, typically we're going to think of yellow, blue, and red, right? So what is color? As you've seen, color can be used to communicate. It can be symbolic. It can have specific meanings. And it can also convey ideas like we see in pop culture, fashion, car design, marketing, all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and take a minute to copy this down. If you are watching this at a later time, which you probably are, you need to go ahead and pause it here and copy down the text that you see. These are your notes. Move on. All right, so this is the color wheel. You only need to copy that first bullet point. Okay, the color wheel is a color circle. It's based on red, yellow, and blue. It's the traditional way that we see relationships between colors. A little history on the color wheel. It was developed by Sir Isaac Newton in 1666, and since then there's been all kinds of different ways that we use to model and show color. There's color circles, color spheres, color cubes, all different ways. Okay, color has three properties. You do need to copy all of this. So again, pause it when you need to so that you can get caught up. Okay, the first property of color is hue. Hue is the basic name for the color. It's what most of us mean when we say color. So there are 6 basic hues: red, yellow, blue, green, orange, and violet. And then we also have intensity. The intensity refers to the saturation or the brightness or dullness of the color. Color is at its full intensity when it's pure and unmixed. And then value. Value is the lightness or darkness of the hue. So if you take the hue red, for example, red is the pure hue. Then we have ways to change the intensity. And so if you made it really kind of just blah, almost like a dark black or almost a white, you're changing the intensity. A mauve is a color of red, of the hue red, which has had the intensity turned way down. Value is going to change the lightness or darkness. So if you take the color red, like we said, and you were to change the value by adding white, you're going to make the color pink. But then if you change the intensity of that pink, you can either make a bright fluorescent pink or you can make a dark dull color like mauve, okay? Or you can change the value of the hue red and make it more like a burgundy color. So those are all different ways that we use hue, intensity, and value together to make different shades of red. Okay, This next part is primary colors. You do need to copy all of this. You do need to know that the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. I know most of you probably know this, but this could be new for some people. In traditional color theory, these are the colors that are used to make all other colors, but they themselves cannot be mixed. Okay? But all other colors are made from these three colors plus black and white. Okay, but in traditional color theory, black and white are not colors. They are the absence or the presence of all color. But black and white are not colors. So again, pause if you need to get this copy down. Okay, secondary colors, you only need to copy that first bullet point and copy the second one if you don't know how to mix those secondary colors. So secondary colors are the three colors that are formed by mixing two primary colors together. And those colors are green, orange, and violet. For terms of color theory, we're going to say violet, we're not going to say purple. Though purple and violet basically are the same thing in common knowledge, society, all that kind of stuff. When somebody says purple, they mean violet. Violet means purple. But for color theory, you do want to use violet. Okay, again, pause if you need to get this copied down. All right, our tertiary or intermediate colors. Just because tertiary is hard to say, I will try to use intermediate colors when referring to these colors. But these are the 6 colors formed by mixing a primary color with a secondary color. And that's the part that you need to copy. That's the definition. And then if you have trouble remembering what those colors are, you're going to want to copy down the names below as well. So those are yellow orange, red violet, blue green, and yellow green. Okay. Notice that the primary color is listed first. The secondary color comes second. Primary does mean one, secondary does mean second, so that should help you remember. But primary color is first, secondary color second, so it's red, violet. You would never say violet, red. Though if you were to Google a color wheel, you are going to find a lot of color wheels that do say violet, red. For some reason, that's the only one that they ever mix up. But just if you say orange, yellow, that sounds weird, right? So say it out loud, and that should help you remember which order the words come in. On the quiz, if you were to mark orange, yellow, or write orange, yellow instead of yellow, orange, you would get it wrong. So make sure you kind of commit that one to memory so you don't make that mistake. All right, again, pause if you need more time. So if those are the only 12 colors, where do the rest of them come from? The rest of them are tints, shades, and hues. Sorry. The rest are shades, tints, and tones. That's what you need to copy down. Okay, those 3 blue bullet points. So a shade is a hue mixed with black. A tint is a shade mixed with white. And a tone is a hue that's mixed with either gray or the hue that's mixed with its complementary color. Okay, so when you say that you're getting your windows tinted, technically that's a wrong term to be using. You are actually getting your windows shaded, but that just sounds weird. So just remember though that tints are adding the color with white, shades are adding the color with black. We'll see some examples on the next slide. Again, pause if you need to get that copied down. All right, so here is an example of the additional colors and kind of how that works. So if we, so my other one, there was a little place where I could do a pointer, but we'll do it here, okay? So here is a value scale. So with that value scale, you have going from white to black. The center line here are your pure hues that are unmixed. Okay, but if you add white, you get various tints. If you add black, you get the various shades. Up here is shown if you add, I think with this one, they're adding the complement of the color to create the tone. But also you would get a similar color if you added gray. Here, this is what's happening. You have the hue on the outside, you have the tint on the second ring where they've added white, then you have the tone where they've added gray, and then on the center you have where they've taken the hue and added black. Okay, color schemes. You do need to copy down this definition. Okay, a color scheme is a way to group colors or groups of colors together so that a desired effect is achieved by the artist. Okay, so pause here if you need to get that copy down, but basically color schemes are specific groups of colors. Okay, our first one, and again, you need to copy the definition. And if you want to take any other notes about what type of image this is, you can make those notes. Try to give you lots of visual examples. But this one is monochromatic. Monochromatic is a single hue, okay, mono meaning one, chroma meaning color, so one color that's mixed with a variety of tints, shades, and tones to provide the variety. So this is a painting by Pablo Picasso from his blue period. And there I have a diagram for you of all the different tints and shades and tones created using the hue of blue. You could do the same thing with red, with yellow, green, whatever color you want or whatever hue you want, but mixed only with its tints, shades, and tones. So mixed with white, mixed with black, or mixed with gray, or its complement. Okay? Again, pause if you need to copy this down. Our next one is analogous. Analogous colors are any 3 or 4 colors that are side by side on a 12-part color wheel, such as here in this picture where you have yellow-green, yellow, and yellow-orange. And I gave you that section of the color wheel there of those colors next to each other on the color wheel that also shows their tints and tones and shades. And then there in the painting, you'll see there are some additional colors. There's some blue, in the sky, but the primary colors there, the colors that are used most often, are yellow, green, yellow, and yellow-orange. Again, pause if you need to continue to copy. Okay, complementary colors. Complementary colors are any 2 colors that are complementary colors are any 2 colors that are directly opposite each other on the color wheel, as you see there in the diagram, such as red and green, think Christmas colors, or red, I don't know why I have red purple there, it's red violet, and yellow green. And here in this image, it is blue violet and red orange. Okay, but they are directly across from each other on the color wheel. Again, pause if you need to finish copying the definition. Okay, triadic. Triadic colors are 3 equally spaced colors on the color wheel. It's the most effective color scheme because it is very stable. And so a very effective one is the primary colors, okay, as we see here. So you've got the diagram here that kind of shows you how it's spaced on the color wheel, again, using tints and tones. This painting by Andy Warhol, you have the yellow in Marilyn's hair, you have the blue of the background and of her eyeshadow, and then you have the red, which is a tint of red with the pink of her skin, and then the actual red in her lips. That is red, yellow, and blue. Go ahead and pause if you need to finish copying this down. Okay, our next one is split complementary. You do need to copy the definition. This one's a little bit trickier to understand, but you are taking so the definition is colors that are similar to complementary colors, but instead of just the 2 colors that are directly opposite each other on the color wheel, you have the one color, and then on the opposite side, it's the colors are on either side of the complement. So I tried to give you the diagram there, and you'll see with this diagram that this is the color of the the people's skin. This is the purple from her dress. This is the green from her dress. It's also used in the background, but you don't see a lot of pink, right? So pink or the red would be the direct opposite on the color wheel from the green, but we don't have this one. Instead, we have the colors that are on either side of the complement. Okay, so again, that one's a little trickier to understand, but it's a term that may come up as we go on. So that's split complementary. Here is a diagram that kind of shows you on the color wheel itself where you would have the color, but instead of the one directly across, it's the two on either side. Again, pause if you need to finish copying this definition. Okay, warm colors. You do need to copy the definition. Okay, but our warm colors, these are colors that are found on one side of the color wheel. They're colors that are found in things that we think of as warm, like fire and sun, and they make objects in the picture look like they are closer. Okay, so here, this is a painting by Klimt, and this is almost all using warm colors. There are a few, there's a violet in there, here and there, that are more of a cool color, but the warm colors up here, I actually went and swatched the painting, the colors. These are the colors that are used within this painting. And then we have the cool colors. Again, you do need to copy the entire definition. Okay, and the colors down there at the bottom are the colors that are swatched, but cool colors are colors that are found on the other side of the color wheel, and these are colors that we think of when we think of things that are cool or cold, like snow and ice, water, cool grass. Okay, and cool colors tend to make things recede or go back in a composition, so they'll make them look like they're further away when we're talking about the use of space. Okay, so those are the terms that you need to know. Again, you can go back and rewind and pause at any point if you need to get those definitions again. You can screenshot if you need, if you want to add those things to your notes, if you're doing your notes digitally. And hopefully that helps. Hopefully it helps with the subtitles as well. And this will be available to you throughout the unit. Thanks, guys.